Welcome to Vinny's Talk. Welcome to the Young Wolf Vinny's Talk. Vinny D, the Young Wolf, guys. We have 30 years of the Yellowstone wolf. Today marks 30 years of the reintroduction of wolves, man. And we are going to do a little reaction here and talk a little bit about the gray wolves. And rest in peace to Takaya, a wolf that swam across the Grand Victoria, right? A beautiful wolf, man, Takaya was. And I made this in memory of him. But today marks 30 years of the great wolf, right? The gray wolves. And it's simply magical. So I want to take a look at this minute video here. 30 years of the Yellowstone wolves. Let's get into this here.
"30 years ago,
Wow.
Defenders of Wildlife was on the ground in Yellowstone National Park when wolves bounded back onto the scene after an
Reintroduction
absence of nearly 70 years. Defenders played a pivotal role in the reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone. We conducted public education campaigns to garner support for reintroduction, established a program to compensate ranchers for verified livestock losses to wolves, litigated in court to ensure their reintroduction, and fought for federal funding.
Wow.
In total, 66 wolves were released in Yellowstone and central Idaho from 1995 to 1996. The return of gray wolves to Yellowstone marked not only a turning point for this magnificent species, but also for Yellowstone, which saw a resurgence in other wildlife and restored ecological balance. From the first wolf that leapt from its cage in Yellowstone to today, defenders have never been more committed to protecting imperiled species and restoring them to their natural habitat across North America. From Colorado, which has begun its own wolf reintroduction program, to North Carolina, which is home to the only existing
Mexican gray
wild
wolves.
population of red wolves, and to the Southwest, where Mexican gray wolves are rebounding. We are honored to be part of these wolf stories. And on this, the 30th anniversary of gray wolf reintroduction to Yellowstone National Park, we thank you for being part of our journey and for making possible what seemed impossible decades ago.
So 30 years of reintroduction of all these gray wolves, Mexican wolves, and the Mexican gray wolf or wolf, might I add, there is I believe there was a lot of introduction in Southwest Arizona. A lot of these wolves came down from Canada, but the Mexican gray wolf was just about to be, pretty much extinct until they actually they caught a few of them and then they reintroduced them and then they kept them for a little while and did some tests and obviously they released them, and it's just amazing, man. 30 years, um and once again they are doing well, right? And thing about wolves, man, in our ecosystem is really interesting to learn that it's like they have an effect, right? Not just on like the ecosystem, but everything, like other animals, and they take care of all the other animals, right? When it comes down to like moose, elk, and it's the fascinating thing about wolves is the history behind how far the wolf has came. And you know not always were wolves protected, and still till this day they fight, and we fight for protection of wolves. And it's just amazing to see that 30 years later, it's been almost 30 years, and the reintroduction of wolves. I do have some. I'm very passionate about wolves. I love wolves. So I am the young wolf. The young wolf. How's everybody doing today, man? If you guys are just joining this special reaction and podcast cast premiere, as you may call it, right? The Wolf Cast. Make sure you guys give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. Just a few minutes just to talk about this, man. 30 years, and it's crazy, man. Wolves are also a very unique species. How they could just travel from one part of the world and all the way coming down from Canada and making their way down to the west part of town. I'm sorry, the west coast, because I'm also hearing about that the wolves are actually making a another introduction into California, because they used to live big parts of big chunks of California, and they're actually coming down from Canada. A lot of these wolves come from Canada. Um, many years ago, wolves were trapped and killed by hunters, poachers, and people that just wanted to kill them. And it's crazy. And till this day, they feel like they need to do that. I don't understand. I really don't understand it. Um, but yeah, I think this is a time to celebrate the 30 years and anniversary special of the reintroduction of wolves. I feel like a lot of animals wouldn't really be in our ecosystems, guys. We take a look at our ecosystems. Our ecosystems wouldn't be for what it is today if it wasn't for wolves, right? We have healthy birds, healthy deer, and to think about like how wolves affect rivers and how they change the river system. Um, if the wolves ain't doing this, if the wolves ain't doing that, then it's gonna affect the ecosystem. A lot of people be like, "Well, Vinny, how did they prove that?" Well, I just doing this research and just it's really interesting, man. So it's been 30 years since the effort was launched in early 1990s. Return of the wolf, right? The return wolves to Yellowstone National Park. Indeed. Let me see. I'm reading this here, so. Um, I don't want to see that. Um, wolves. 30 years. On Sunday, when 14 wolves were trapped in Canada, were brought into Yellowstone to kick off efforts to see healthy wolf packs looping through the park. However, it says, how have they done? Have they thrived? What challenges they have encountered? And what have we learned? It's the 30th anniversary, man. It's really something, right? I'm just looking up stuff about if you guys are just joining, welcome to the podcast, man. Vinny D, the Young Wolf. The Young Wolf Rises. 30th anniversary of the Grey Wolf, man. The return of the Grey Wolves to Yellowstone National Park 30 years ago. Wow, man. 30 years ago was quite a while ago. Was one of the most exciting and important conservation developments of our lifetime. Of our lifetimes. Defenders of wildlife played a leading role in the reintroduction demonstrations demonstrating wildlife recovery and the possible that together we can prevent extinction. And it's very important to me that for the next, right, the next 30 years that they continue this anniversary, because it's very, man, dude, wolves, like I said, the ecosystem and everything else that wolves have an impact on all of our lives, and even in the nature. It's another reason why I like to be in nature, right? Nature, beautiful nature. And when I'm out hiking, sometimes I'm just like, I hope that I see like a wolf or a coyote, even a coyote, because coyotes is damn near close to being a wolf, right? Even though coyote is much smaller than a wolf is. The canine wolf coyote were in that canine family. But today we celebrate 30 years, man, and it's really something. The gray wolf, right? The gray wolf. The gray wolf. And how's everybody feeling, man? It's winter outside, right? It's really cold. See, if you live in the Midwest or if you live on the west end of the state, where like in Cali, it's really warm, and watch out for the wolves, right? No, it's really crazy because I know there's more wolves heading down to California. There's been some spots of wolves in the Midwest, mostly in Minnesota and in Wyoming, and there's more coming down from Canada. Canada is a big spot. Minnesota, as well. But Canada's a really big spot in Southwest Arizona, where the Mexican gray wolf is doing well, man. Reintroduction of the Mexican gray wolf. So I want to thank you guys for joining this podcast. 30 years, man. 30 years. So think of it. 30 years. And it's really special. So I want to thank you guys for joining. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube. You guys are being in tune into Vinny's Talk. Wolf Week, right? We call it Wolf Week. What better way to do it? 30 years, man. Oh, man, it's really something. It's really something, guys. When I was watching special on Takaya, how he made his way from one island to the next. This wolf right here, Takaya, and this lady, she documented him, took pictures of him, and to come to find out that he lost his life to hunters. Shaking my head, dude. It's crazy. Do have a few videos and tributes to Takaya on my YouTube, and also I do want to do another podcast about Takaya, but today I wanted to do just a reaction and a tribute to 30 years of the reintroduction of celebration of the wolf, right? The young wolf, Vinny D, the young wolf, and it's really special to me because I feel like I have a connection with animals and wolves and spiritual. It's like almost like a spiritual connection. So, I want to thank you guys for joining. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and you know what I'm saying. Until the next time, you guys know what to do, man. Peace out, guys.